going live? It says I'm here. It says I came back. I was futzing around that shit to get it off my desk, and I hit a button. Let me put my junk away. Hopefully anybody who wants to hang out is going to find this. I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here. Has anybody found their way back? Let's see if I can still get to the other one. The other one might still be up. Says I'm not there. Okay, this is going to be a learning curve. This is still trying. This is still trying to go. I don't know what I'm going to have to do about that. Thank God I've got some bandwidth to deal with it. Okay. I hit a button and it did not like me. My mouse has got all these buttons on the side, and I think one of them backed me out of the stream. The other stream is still trying to go, so I'm going to have to figure that out later. But anyway, let's see what we got going on here. Okay, that's that. That's that. I'm still trying to end the old stream. I don't think it's affecting my bandwidth. I'm not in StreamYard. I'm just using the onboard stuff because I can't sign into StreamYard under my account because I don't think we ever set. Either we didn't set it up or we didn't set it up in a way that I'm finding. So I'm just trying the onboard software to see what happens. But I hit a button, backed out of the stream, went back into the stream, and it says it's closed now. It says it's done now, but it's still like kind of keeping me in there. So I'm trying to get back into YouTube Studio to go in and turn it off. Hey, I could probably delete it. I may have to delete it. Content. Live. See, it's saying it's still live. It's saying it's live, but it's not letting me back in. Let's see what happens. Delete forever. Let's just get rid of it. Okay, I had to delete it. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I just had to delete. I had to delete the. I just had to delete the other one because it was the only way I could think of to make it stop. There's got to be a way for me to go in, override it, and make it stop, but it's not. Yay! I'm back. Yeah, as I was trying to sort out the thing, I hit a button. Yeah, because memory foam. When you put things on memory foam, it tends to absorb motion, but it's not. It's the camera. I wonder if I could put. Okay, let's do that. You know what I probably need? I probably just need to make a strap. Ooh, I could make a strap. If I had some sort of a strap that goes around the back of the lid, which is where the camera is, the back of the screen, and just snugs it so that it takes away all that, I bet you that would work. I bet you I could make that work. Anyway, I do plan on doing live streams on the channel, and this is my first attempt to make that work. And Lisa and of course, my lovely wife is here. We'll obviously talk later about what didn't work about doing it this way, because I'm just going to get repetitive because the first time I said it, it was on the other stream that I then had to delete. The original webcam that we were planning on using, I can't use it because it's not working properly. It keeps cutting out. It keeps going black. So it's like, I have TV trays. I have TV trays and stuff like that. A stool. My problem is the way I'm set up. I don't like what I could do. Let's try this. Let's try things that I'm not going to fuck up too badly. Get that mouse way, way, way away from me. Get my sody pop out of the way. The problem is, okay, the big issue is that if I'm trying to do any active sewing on a live, I can come in and chat whenever. That's not a problem. Hey guys, let's chat. This is fine. If I try to show anybody anything, like I said, I sewed 2 pieces of fabric together, but when it came time to come over here and finger press them out, this isn't too bad. So if I'm going to do any sewing live, I either need a shelf of some kind, a stool or a holder of some kind, something that's not going to be touched at all. A stool would work, but here's my space. Now ignore the mess. Like I said, we're halfway into rearranging things. There's a space right there. So there's the couch. That's the corner of the table that it's on right now. And this over here is the table that the sewing machine's on. These 2 tables are kind of sort of touching. But even when I pull them back so that they're not touching each other, just the floor vibration. Because the problem is that it's if you're on a laptop right now, you can do it yourself. You just reach up and it's really, really easy to get your laptop to wiggle. Hey, Marion, how you doing? But yeah, so it's really easy to get your laptop lid to wiggle. So what I need to do, the only problem I'm having is as long as I can make sure that the laptop screen, the screen part, as long as that doesn't wiggle, I won't have a problem. A stool would work beautifully, but if even floor vibration, because this table is too close to that table, is enough. Because a newer computer is going to be a little stiffer, but this is an older computer, so the lid just has that wobble. I could. That's what I was thinking about. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do this. Like I said, I've got mess everywhere. Started that. We're always messy. We are always messy here. I actually don't really care all that much, but if I were to move that over there, okay, what happens? Hey, okay, that works. So if I move that over towards the back of the couch, you guys can still see. I may have to adjust some lighting. Lighting is no big deal. You have no idea how much lighting shit we have in this house. Because Lisa does her channel, so she's always upgrading. Not always, but whenever she upgrades her lighting, she keeps the old lighting. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, a wall shelf at the optimum height. But the optimum height, let me just move that. The optimum height goes into this corner here, which brings it right here. I'm really not using that corner for much anyway. I will say a corner shelf, a little corner shelf right behind this will probably be my best thing. Then I can just, you know what? Okay. I don't know. Basically, you put up a shelf. If you put up a corner shelf, a corner shelf is literally a triangle like that, right? You put a piece of wood on your wall here, a piece of wood on your wall here, slide the shelf in, and normally you screw the shelf down, right? And you put stuff on it. If I put a corner shelf there and didn't, we could probably try see, I didn't want to have to screw around with your monopod because I don't want to spend 30, 40 minutes setting up. I want it to be super simple and easy so I can just get in here and hang out and do the things. Anyway, yeah, a wall shelf at the optimal height is the best thing. But if I put the wall shelf in, and then just set the shelf on, and there's ways to set it on so it's not gonna be at a risk. Then I can take the shelf off when I'm not using it, pop the shelf on, pop the laptop on, and I can do this in one step. Yeah, the corner shelf. That's what I'm not the daughter of a carpenter, but I'm from a background of people who I want this. Let's figure it out. We're always jury rigging something. corner shelves are pretty easy. Pretty easy. I may even have stuff to make a corner shelf like right away. But anyway, yeah, if I use the monopod, then I would have to I don't know how I would set that up. I don't know. I think I like this. Just boop boop, because if I'm going to be live, I have to have my computer handy anyway. If I'm going to be live, my computer has to be handy anyway. So the more shit that I'm putting up over here to make it work, the less stuff I can do. I don't know. I don't know. I bet you we can do a corner shelf. Those are cheap. You can even get them at IKEA for well, I don't know what IKEA prices are going up. I have no idea what's going on with IKEA. But anyway, yeah, I'm just I've been wanting to do an update on my quilting project. I can do that today though, because I'm not sewing. I'll just show you stuff. So we changed the design, and it's now going to be a Bridget's cross, which is, see, I should have been ready. I'm not ready for nothing. But basically what I did was I put together all of these in shorter pieces because they're easier to manage. And now I've got enough of them that I should be able to put them all together. Now that I've got enough of them, I'm going to start piecing the longer pieces together to get that big cross, to get those big strips that I need. I still need the strips. But what I was going to do is random strips throughout. Lisa is responsible for this part. What I was going to do is random strips throughout. And now what I'm doing is they call it a Bridget's cross, where I'm going to have one strip. I'm going to break it up. I'm going to break it up in my mind into quadrants. So I can go one strip from the center, from the edge to the center, another strip from the edge to the center, another strip from the edge to the center. And the way it all lines up forms a Bridget's cross. I cannot show you that because I don't have StreamYard. Go look up Bridget's cross. But I'm going to be doing that with it instead. And then I'm probably going to be doing a couple of matching pillows. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to do it 60 by 60, so it's square. So I made some changes to the design while not having to change what I'm doing right now. And I'll still get a cool design. But anyway. Put that over there. I'm still getting used to it. Yeah, it's going to be gorgeous. I was showing Lisa what I had in mind, and once she got a chance to look at the colors and stuff, because all of this, I don't have the fabric out, but all of this is going to be on the channel fabric, the really light this is going to be in even strips, and it's going to be on a nice light pastel. It's going to be super fun, and I think if I do it right, it's going to be super easy. So we'll see. I'm not going to be looking forward to all the quilting, but that's so I'm probably not going to rush on this project. It's getting the strips ready is going to be fine. But then once it's done, I'm going to have to stuff the entire thing into this machine and start quilting it. I'll probably do a lot of filming while I'm quilting it, but right now it is a heat wave. I don't know if it's a heat wave. It's the first hot spell we've had this year, so it just feels like it's too hot to do anything. But anyway. Yeah, corner shelf. I think I can do a corner shelf. If I just don't touch anything, but yeah, even over here. Unless I really want to do the redneck thing and put something on it that's going to keep the lid. I think anything I can do to keep the lid from moving is probably just going to be a big bulky mess to begin with. Yeah, I can do a corner shelf. It doesn't have to be super high. It'll go it'll put the computer all the way back there. I don't know. That's too far back. That's pretty far back. I don't know. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. I'm gonna give it some thought and figure it out. Now, if Lisa does have a webcam, so I might be needing to borrow it. That's probably going to end up being the best choice. Borrow it or think about something that I can put. Yep, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. You guys will see a lot if I put it there. This is on this goes up. Let's get that over there. If I put that over there, but then I've got the same problem. Basically, the wonderful world of going on a live means that even if I'm just talking, if something comes up, I have to be able to get to the keyboard to, block the trolls or do whatever. So I don't know. At least now it's sorted out. Now that we know. Yeah, it would take a minute to throw the webcam on the monopod. Way easier than a shelf. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Ugh. If I was closer into that corner, it might be a different conversation, but we'll see. We'll see. She's probably going to talk me into the monopod now. Actually, I don't know if I can do that if I'm using this. I may have no choice. I may have no choice but to do I may have no choice but to be on StreamYard, because this doesn't look like it's giving me an option for adding a different camera. I'm not going to edit it right now. I'm not going to touch nothing. What do I think I'm doing? Anyway, so what did Tarot, Tats, and T say? Oh, Lordy, St. Bridget's Cross was a thing of nightmares for me when teaching and having to make them from straws glued together for St. Bridget's Day. I'm making it into a... Let me see. Let me get some paper. We're not trying too hard today. Yeah, the monopod's right here. Okay. Let me get my sketchy paper and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, because there has been it is a slight change, but I said I was going to do something different. What's going on? Let's find a clean page. This is literally my scrap page. Okay, so I'm making it square. I'm making a mess. I'm making it square. Okay. Okay, so I'm starting with a square. Okay, now mentally, well, not mentally. So what I'm going to do is take these strips. These are longer than needed. I'm making these longer than needed because that way I can store them for a long time and just trim off all the fraying without having to worry about ending up with too short of a piece, right? So then this is actually going to be really easy. So then I'm going to do that. Now, each of these strips is, each of these sections here on the inside, each of the sections on the inside is going to be made of strips. See, they're all going in the same direction. So that's going to be strips going all the way to the ends. And this is 60 inches by 60 inches. 60 inches by 60 inches, right? So with 60 inches by 60 inches, I'm going to have the 4 strips, and each strip goes with the one that's on this side. Or you can do it the other way around, but it'll be easier to do it this way. So I'm going to sew that strip to a big square. That's going to be like, we haven't decided whether it's going to be 5 or 6 inches yet, but that's going to be sewn. So if that's going to be 5 inches, 60 inches is, each section is going to be 30 inches, right? So this is going to be 25 by 30 inches, 25 by 30, 25 by 30, 25 by 30. Each one, let me just make this a little bit more obvious. So each one of these is one of those. Okay. So if I do this at 5 inches, then I'm going to have 5 inches plus 25 inches. That's going to be my 30 inches, and that's going to be 30 inches. So I take one strip and sew it down to one big chunk of fabric. Because what I was originally going to do, let me see. What I was originally going to do, what's that? That's some shit. Ignore the shit. Ignore the shit up there. Okay, so what I was going to do was this. What I was going to do was have a strip, part of a strip, part of a strip, a strip. I was going to like randomly put them throughout the blanket, but then I was going to have to cut a 5-inch piece to go the rest of that length, a 5-inch piece here. So the actual cutting was going to look like this. So Lisa decided she loved this design better, and it actually is going to make my life easier because you see all the cuts now? See all the cuts? I was going to have one big piece here, one small piece here, one big piece here, one small piece here, a strip, one small piece, a narrow strip, another narrow strip, a regular solid piece, then a strip, then another one. And this was actually going to involve by the time this was done, okay, I can probably, what I need to do is sit down one day and go through from beginning to end, because this is the longest part. This is the longest, hardest part, because I'm trying to make sure that nothing's more like, okay, look at the size of that strip. That's going to be a 1/4 inch when it's done, right? A 1/4 inch, 2 inch, an inch and a half. Don't forget that's got the seam allowance coming off, so it's going to be narrower, right? This piece is going to take the longest. And once I have my chains, now I know, okay, now I know for a fact I need 4 30-inch chains. Like like this. Like I need to connect all these together and make this 30 inches long. Once I have 4 of those, once I have 4 of these, then I've got, you know what I should do? I've got the extra fabric for it, because I'll tell you right now, I could do one of these in like 30, 40 minutes if I did a solid color and not this. I should do one. I can't do it right now. Anyway, so I've already been working. I already put like a really long Saturday into getting all this done, because you have to sort it, trim it. I did it from my scrap bucket, so I had to take it all from my scrap, sort my scrap, make sure it was all the right length, cut it all up, do the thing. So this took about 8 hours. This little stack here took like 8 or 9 hours to do. But if I were to just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a hot damn minute, people. I could do the top. I'm not gonna do it. I can't do it because you guys are gonna, okay. See, this is why I want to get the shaking thing sorted out, because I could show you guys this. See, I can show you guys this right now. And the minute I start doing stuff, I was like, you guys are gonna be like, enjoy. Okay, if you were doing this with just a 30-inch strip of cloth, 5 inches by 30 inches, 5.5 for your seam allowance by 30, sew that onto a contrasting piece of cloth, 25 by 30, make 4 of them, zip, 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 sew the 4 together, you're done. And then you're just going to make your quilt sandwich and quilt it together, and you're done. And if you're using diaper flannel instead of batting, you don't even have to quilt it. You just have to put it together. So this is going to take me, I still have to finish sewing the smaller pieces into the bigger pieces and then getting it all trimmed. But once that part's done, and I'm just using it as a lap blanket, I may be using diaper flannel instead of regular batting for it. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, basically, how long a quilting project takes you is very much determined by how many tiny pieces you have in it. This has already taken like I said, a nice. I've spent a day on getting that cut, prepped, sorted, ready to go. I can probably have the rest of it done, the top, in about another 4 or 5 hours, because once these are done, I'm just putting them onto a solid piece. But yeah, you could probably do one of these in like hour to an hour and a half. The top, just the quilt top, not the entire project, the quilt top, and then the rest of it you just pin your top, your batting. So I could probably do one in a day if I was doing all the right shortcuts just to get her done. I should do one. See if I can get it done in a day. Maybe do one and then do a giveaway of it. I've got the extra fabric for it, so I've got no reason not to. Do the blues. Does the Bridget's Cross have any traditional colors? Color themes and stuff like that? Or is it just the idea of the shape? Bluetooth keyboards, so reaching one. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got excited about this idea of doing one quickly, and then I just kind of stopped reading the chat. Oh, good night, Marion. Bluetooth keyboard, so reaching one isn't an issue. That might be a good, that would let me put it in the corner. Because I don't know, let's go back in the corner. But if it's in the corner and I'm sewing, can you guys think you can, like, what's the view? Are you getting a decent view? up here, tilt it down a bit. Is that a worthwhile view for you so you can actually see something? Gold or dried grasses color? Okay. Yeah, I think when you talk about working at speed, I don't think there are any fast moves for colors, but you have inspired me to make one in greens and browns. Yeah, I'm doing blue purple. I started doing this for a slightly different design, and then Lisa said, "Let's do this." And then she went, "Hey, wait a second, wait a second." She picked the design and she went, "Oh, I'm gonna double check here." She went, looked, and she goes, if we do it that way, it's a Bridget's cross. Now, Bridget's cross will start and narrow a little bit towards the ends. I think mine's not going to narrow, but yeah, sometimes for quilting stuff, depending on what you're doing, it can be surprisingly fast. So getting, like I said, if I were just to do, I'm cut 4 30-inch strips of fabric and make sure they're 5 inches wide versus doing this, you're going to save yourself hours and hours and hours and hours. Yeah, gold or dried grasses color. So if I did, I'm going to have to really think about this. I'm going to have to really think about this. So if I did, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it. And I can do it in 4 pieces using Quilt As You Go, which is a huge time saver. And lets you, okay, Quilt As You Go is a Quilt As You Go. I'm super addicted to Quilt As You Go because for starters, okay, if I do a 60-inch by 60-inch, right, I'm going to need a 60-inch piece wide, 65-inch wide piece of fabric on as the backing to go all the way around it. A regular bolt of fabric is 42 inches. Yeah, on a nice green background. Gold on a green background. I've got both colors. I've got lots of greens. And if I do it in 30-inch, I'd have to do it in 30-inch chunks. Ooh, now I really got to get this camera sorted out. But, okay. Quilt As You Go lets you break down your project into sections and then do each section and then just sew the sections together to finish it. So Quilt As You Go would work really well, especially if I did it that way. Okay, so gold cross on a green field with a gold backing. That would look really good. I can make that work. I can make it work, and I think I'm going to. And I might be able to do it. Anyway. No, when you're doing Quilt As You Go, though, like Quilt As You Go, like I've got a project that I'm thinking about. I haven't really started it yet. That's going to use 10. I did one recently, 10-inch squares, so you don't have to go by wide backs to make sure you have a single solid piece that's big enough to do your entire backing on, or sew 2 40-inch pieces together. Yeah, I think I could make it. I think I could do one fairly quickly. Now, here's the thing. Would I do it in 60 by 60? Would I do it? Well, I guess I would have to do it lap blanket or bigger. There's no point. There's things that people do. They do them as hangings. I actually would make a good hanging. They do quilting as wall hangings is a really popular hobby. I have a really hard time doing something if it doesn't have any, I don't know. For myself, I wouldn't do a hanging for myself. I would be like, okay, well now that I've done it, I like people to be able to use it, but depends on what you're into. Anyway. So yeah, I've got a new video idea coming up, and that's going to be a speed racer contest for myself and see if I could do one of these. And if I can get one done, well, I know I can get one done. If I do one like that and I sort it out so I can do it in 4, if I can do it, okay, let me back up because I'm getting all ahead of myself here. Basically, at this time of year, things get really, really hot. The last thing you want is a full-size quilt, because when you're top stitching, when you're doing the quilting stitching on your quilt, last thing you want is to be sitting around when it's 90 degrees outside and you've got a big, huge quilt because it's in your lap. It's in your lap while you're working on it, right? So Quilt As You Go also lets you break your project down into smaller pieces. So now my project will be over here, and I will be covered in thread. I vacuum like regularly, so I'm lazy. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna break it down so that I can do a Quilt As You Go, because then I'm gonna be able to get less waste of my fabric, less heat and discomfort to work through while I'm doing the work, because it's not going to be like draped entirely in my lap while I'm working on it, and easier. And mine's kind of rustic slash boho slash whatever you want to call it. Which when I saw the Bridget's cross, when Lisa explained when Lisa like said, "Hey, that's a Bridget's cross," I'm like, "What are you talking about?" When she showed it to me, it's like, "Oh, they look kind of rough and rustic. That sounds fun." But yeah, I've got a gold fabric sitting up right here right now. Like, look at that. Look at that right there. And that's enough to make a cross. I can get 4 30-inch pieces out of that. I'm going to do it. Okay. Okay. This is usually my creative process. This sounds really cool. This sounds really, really cool. And then I get fixated. Not fixated in the bad way. Yeah, yeah. Quilt as you go. Okay. There's quilt as you go. Quilt as you go can look very professional and very, I'll be right back. I'll show you. Okay, so quilt as you go is very, very forgiving. Quilt as you go, the way I do quilt as you go is very forgiving. You can get a little speedy, you can get a little sloppy, and it still forgives you. But you can also take, is this upside right? This is not upside right. You can also take your quilt as you go and do all your measurements very, very, like for this one here, this is for sale in the shop, right? So when I did this one, I focused on making sure everything was measured properly. I would fold my fabric into place, iron it, pin it, make sure it's not moving. So you can get you can definitely, once you get the hang of quilt as you go, it's really, really easy to get a really finished clearly. Like I said, all the sides are the same, and I've measured it all out. So you can go to the next level and it still has a slightly rustic feel to it, but you can get a lot more precise. Quilt as you go does have space for precision, because that's pretty precise, right? And this is quilt as you go though. Like, I mean, I just did it on a 10-inch piece, and I've got enough lovely 10-inch taro mat to send off to a nice home. Let's put that where I'm not going to wreck it right there. But anyway, but quilt as you go, when you're focusing on a little bit of speed. Oh, I'm new. I don't care if I make a few mistakes here and there. No, I want to get it done. I don't want to be messing around. Is extremely forgiving and looks amazingly rustic, like in all the right ways. All the right ways. I've got a bunch of other stuff around here that's, what else have I got? I mean, I've got a big one in the bedroom, but I don't want to drag it out because it's a really hot day here. But anyway, but yeah, I'm going to sort this out. Lisa's been off and on this, so she'll have a chance to see for herself. I actually kind of like that my preview window. Okay, for starters, it's way bigger than the little camera. And I like that the quality that I'm seeing is a little less, because then the bandwidth is reserved for viewers and not just me. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. So I should try to focus on. Okay, for starters, the first step in making a quilt is going out and buying your fabric. I mean, you can end up taking like weeks to decide exactly how you want your quilt to look before you get started, but I do know of a few patterns that are actually really quick to put together. And if I do a Bridget's cross without doing this if I do a Bridget's cross and not do this idea, I want to do it. I want to do it now. Now that's all I'm going to talk about. Now I'm going to turn into a broken record. Now I'm going to be, yeah. Anyway. Aw, thanks. Lex, can I highlight these? I haven't even, I'm so scared of touching buttons after I ended the last stream by mistake. Go to shopping. I can pin the mess. What? I can do weird things, and I don't. Okay, I'm not using StreamYard, which is what we usually use. I'm using something different because I'm not. My account is not. Lisa's has StreamYard on her channel, and it's not on mine. So yeah, Lexi says I have a few of your bags. The wraps are absolutely my favorite. Need more of those. I'm actually putting up a few wraps today. I have no interest in sewing, but I enjoy listening to your videos while I clean and putter around. And I'm glad. I am glad. Oh, and Mary Michelle is from Monterey Bay. Are you guys dying down there in the heat? We're having. I'm up in Vancouver, Canada. We're having our first hot spell, and it feels like a heat wave. It's not a heat wave here yet, but it was such an abrupt change that it feels like one. So we've got that going on, but not much else. But yeah, this is going to work out. If we can't sort anything else out in our world, we now have the base model of what alive for me is going to look straight from rainy to summer. That's what we got here. It's like straight. It's like, oh, the rain is. It's like the clouds part and. Mary Michelle is at 70 degrees. We're like mid 80s right now, I think. Mid 80s. I did the air conditioner though. We put the air conditioner back in the bedroom because we're in an older building, and so we can't put the air conditioner up here because if I have the air conditioner going, every time I turn on the iron, it just I blow a circuit. So we got the air conditioner back in the back, and then we've just got a couple of fans kind of redirecting some of that cold air this way. So we're pretty comfortable, but 82 degrees PDX. What's PDX? 82 is, I think, around 32 in Celsius. I'd literally have to look it up. I'm Portland. Okay. Yeah, I literally have to look up what the thing is. But yeah, it's hitting 30. It's like 30, 31 here, which is about the same, in the same range. But that's okay. But yeah, no, I'm supposed to be sewing today, but I'm being really lazy about it. What else is new? We have I just spent. I got this though. I'm doing larges this week. I'm gonna do a bunch of larges and get them in. And if I once I get the larges done, ideally I'll have some time to also do some minis. But we'll see. The other day it was 90. Ooh. Tarot Tats and T says it's 11:50 p.m. here. Oh, it's almost midnight, but not as warm. It's getting warmer here, but not as warm as you are getting. I can't decide whether it's summer or early spring here. All the rain is why we have 40 shades of green. Yeah. We had lots and lots and lots of rain, and then it just kind of suddenly stopped. We get that. We do have a rainy season here. Riley Blake art journal fabric. Interesting. I didn't know they had art journal fabric. It must be new. I have a big stash I'm trying to work for. So I'm still buying fabric because God knows I'll never stop. But I'm trying to minimize my trips to the store, so I'll buy a little bit less and get some of this used up. Like, look at that right there. I mean, that right there will keep me busy for at least a couple of months, 3 months. If I work strictly from that, yeah, I've got way too much fabric. Way too much fabric. But Riley Blake art journal fabric. Let me take a look. Let me see. Okay, I guess we have to test this and see if it'll work. So let me see what happens. Oh. Okay. Well, this just dropped me into a whole thing. I didn't know art journal quilting fabric panel. This is something else. Oh, I get it. Okay. I don't I looked up Riley Blake, but it took me straight to Etsy for some reason. Oh, because I'm on Etsy every day, all day, so they probably assume that's where I want to be. Art journal collections. That's what we got here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. bugs, plants, butterflies, patch panel. Oh, that's what they're calling them, patch panels. Okay, well, that's awesome. I can't. Well, how big are these? They're not saying how big they are. Well, that's going to be 24. How big are they? Hi, Mimi's Tarot and Gems. Oh, and Andy the Wildflower just showed up. Hey, Andy. Oh, Tarot Tats and T has to go. Oh, getting up early in the morning. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be the bigger problem. Is that this is the best time of day for me to go live, so it's like, I don't know how. I mean, I've never done panels. Want to see you guys want to see a panel? I've got this one. I just pulled this from my stash. This is why I have the gold out so I can back it. Oops. Yeah, whenever every now and again I find a panel that is just perfect for what I want to do. I've also got some. I also managed to get my hands on some more of the Moon Phases astrology panels, so I'm going to be trying to get to some of them soon too. My sword, I regularly get access to them, but yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to get some more of that stuff done too. But panels are, yeah, it's a beautiful one. That's Klimt. That's apparently there's a Klimt tarot, and that's what's on the Lover's card in the Klimt tarot. And it turns out that I've had it for a while. It ended up getting put in a different spot than I normally put that type of stuff. And so I just was clean tidying up. And it's like, oh, this is in the wrong spot. And I said, hey, Lisa, look what I've got. And she went, oh, that's the Lover's card in the Klimt tarot. And I'm like, oh, I guess I better sew it up. So that's probably coming. Actually, you know what I'll probably do? I'll probably finish these. I'll probably get these larges done and then do that so that I don't forget it again. But yeah, I'm gonna work on doing a on finishing this one into a Bridget's Cross, but I'll probably do a very simple, fast one first because that'll be the easier one to do. What is this Tarot Destroyer? Yeah. So let's see how blocking works. Let's see how that works. There. There we go. That's always the fun part. As soon as somebody sees that you're a smaller channel, they're like, aha, watch me go. And I'm like, aha, you're a fucking idiot. What's going on? Oh, looks like I did it wrong. Oh, unless they got multiple channels. It always amuses me. It's like, I don't know why people think it's funny, and I don't know why people think it's not. I don't get it. It's like the only thing you're doing is proving to the internet that you're an idiot. So, but I guess that's the way it is sometimes. But that is life. That is life. I'm not going to be on for much longer anyway. I've already been on for 45 minutes, and I'm successfully avoiding all work. Basically, what's been going on around here is you did the spring cleaning thing. And the first thing that happens in spring cleaning is you tear your whole fucking house apart. Because I want my house to look better. So let's just trash everything, right? Yeah. Well, they definitely need a new hobby, especially like, why are you wasting my time? I'm just going to laugh at you. I'm not laughing with you. I'm laughing at you. Oh, look at that. Somebody thinks you're funny. So you must have multiple accounts. That's usually how that goes. Somebody thinks you're being funny. It's amazingly how funny stupid people think they really are. It's like I feel like making a compilation and then just hey, but it looks like it's probably a bot. The messages are coming up too fast for it not to be a bot. So I can let me see. Oh, I'll have to double check that behind the scenes, which is fine. And then yeah. That's get me back on track before I continue taunting and tormenting the shit for brains over there. Yeah, basically we went away to Portland, spent some time with Don Michelle and her husband Kevin, had a great time. Came back and it's like, okay, when we have to get this done, and when we have to get this done, we have to get this done because the heat wave is now here. Once the heat wave is here, that's when it's the best time to tear everything apart. So we rearranged a bunch of stuff because what I did was I took the shelf that was this rack or this crappy rack over here was living all the way over there behind the couch, and now it's gone. See all the junk, and actually the room looks better than it did a few hours ago. So we took that rack that was over there and we moved that over here, and then took the shelf that was over here, and that's now I'm pointing at the screen as if you guys know what I'm looking at, but the shelf that's just that shelf right there is what used to be sitting beside me right over here. So that one is now out of the way because it kind of rearranges the room a bit. But yeah, and then get distracted by all the things you find while cleaning, which is exactly what happened. It's like, hey, because that's what I did yesterday. It's like, oh, hey, right. I keep forgetting to, I wanted to do some readings yesterday. It's like, I keep forgetting that I can hook up the webcam. That's why I had 2 cameras going yesterday, right? It's like I keep forgetting that I can do that. I want to mess around with that. So I messed around with that, got all that shit out, got all that sorted out, found out the webcam's not working. Now I've got this shit out doing all this. It's like, oh my God. But it's the fun thing. This is the joy of being semi-retired, because the good news is I can spend all day, all week, all whatever on it and not have to worry too much about things. So the way it's just not going to be a problem at all. Now that just took a second. Okay. So the good news about being semi-retired and the work I'm doing from home is that I can let it sit. It's not wrecking my day. I'm going to keep up the lives. I like doing lives. One of the biggest problems that you have, it looks like 2 bots are coming in at the same time, so there might be a flood. Anyway, so I like the interaction too. One of the things that I don't like about my day job, this is my job, right? This is what I do, but I'm an extrovert working alone. Oh, you know what? I don't give a shit about Tarot Destroyer because this is a sewing channel. So what the fuck? Maybe she works for Google. Oh, she cast a voodoo spell on me. Are you going to remove the spell for enough pay, Pola, there? Fucking idiots. It's really interesting that this is a tarot channel. This is a sewing channel. Now, this is the interesting thing. Don't tell me that there are not people in the Tarotverse who are just simply assholes looking to fuck people up for fun and whatever the fuck. Because this is a sewing channel. The only people who know I'm associated with tarot are because they've seen me on Lisa's channel. They're part of the community. I have some feels. Yeah, I have some feels. Why are you coming into a tarot channel, a sewing channel, talking about being a tarot destroyer? Pick your targets better, because your ass is now hanging out. We know you're a part of the community. We know that you're okay. I'm nothing. This is a channel with 1,000 subscribers. I'm nothing. We know I'm nothing. In the world of sewing, why the fuck are you coming after me for tarot? Because you know who I am. You know who I am. You got a fucking grudge and you think you're fucking special. And now that I know to look out for you. And trust me, I'll fucking spot you. And when I do, guess who's gone? Not me. Fucking people. They annoy the fuck out of me. Now, if you want to play the game, change it to Sewing Channel Destroyer. Anyway, sorry guys. I get on my little high horse because we have seen this in the tarot community before. And everybody we've seen this in the tarot community before where this kind of bullshit happens, right? And everybody's going, I don't know. Well, you guys just hung your fucking ass out to dry. And now we know. You are somebody in the tarot world who knows who I am, or you wouldn't be on my fucking sewing channel wasting my time. People are so fucking stupid. Anyway. Now that I'm going to get off my high horse again, like, just go away. Go away. All you're doing is providing engagement for the channel. A sewing channel. But you're going to be all about tarot on my sewing channel. Yeah. You're only here because you know who I am and you want to play fucking games. So, I mean, I'll ask around who else gets targeted. That's going to tell me something. That's going to tell me, I'm just going to find out who else gets targeted, and that's going to tell me pretty much everything I need to know. So anyway, but I'm getting much better at this, though, being able to track the morons at the same time. But anyway, yeah, people manipulate people in this community too much. I get DMs saying they want to provide a free reading all the time. Yeah, don't waste my fucking time. I don't fucking care. This is a sewing channel. Like, my God, if you're going to go after me, you should have done it yesterday when I was doing readings on my wife's channel. Like, my God, fucking idiots. Anyway, but of course they've been blocked. Here's the thing. Whoever this is probably somebody who's already been blocked on my wife's channel, or they would have went after me yesterday. I already know who's on that list. So now I've got my starting point. You people are idiots. You just hung your ass out to dry. What a fucking moron. Anyway. Yeah, thanks for the quilted. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do another one. I think were you there or gone again? I got on my high fucking horse. So it's like, anyway. So I may need a couple of mods for this group. Well, then again, I mean, whoever, if this is okay. I don't know who exactly this person is, but I have a pretty strong suspicion of who they're associated with. And once they go reporting back, going, "Ooh, look what I did! Aren't I fucking special? I did this," and they're going to go, "She knows who you fucking are now." She has it narrowed down to a list of about 8 people. Anyway, so it's probably not going to happen again. Not if they have half a fucking brain. Quick, yeah, let's talk about sewing. Let's ignore the moron. Hey, who's around? Too bad Lisa's not still in. I got to figure out the mod thing. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that right now. So once I do that, I'm probably gonna do that. Well, you know, they're saying they think they're being fucking special. It's like, oh my God, I don't like Peggy because I don't like Peggy because of tarot fucking reasons. So I'm gonna come after her over here, and she's not gonna figure out that it's a sewing channel. Change your name to Sewing Destroyer, and then maybe I won't. Maybe I'll go, oh my God, people don't like sewers. Now I'm just going, no, I can probably narrow you down pretty well to a certain group and go from there. Like, come on. And everybody knows everybody behind the scenes. Word's going to get around. Somebody came after Piggy on her sewing channel, but it was related to tarot. And it's like, this makes no logical sense. Anyway, somebody was asking a channel, a question, a channel. Yeah. But yeah, I just don't fuck with me. You're wasting your time. I'm just going to get a big fucking laugh out of this later, and then I'm going to go find out who you are. Oh, this is a, yeah, no, they're a big scary person. You better watch out. Oh, what am I supposed to do? Delete my channel? Because you're wasting my fucking time. Anyway, I have to back up to read, guys, because I'm too busy mouthing off. Do you hand embroider or machine embroider the bags? When I was embroidering, it was all machine. I just do not have the time I have the time. I don't have the patience for hand embroidering. I never did. The machine that I had was a great machine while I had it. I don't think I'm getting it. The machine's gone. The machine's gone now. We rehomed it. But I don't think I'm going to do that kind of sewing again. I don't think I need to. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, let's back up. I would love to. But the machine, the higher quality machine that I would want is pretty expensive, and I don't think I want to spend the money on it. Yeah, Peggy the Sewing Destroyer, like superhero time. Anyway, yeah, you know what, Marvelous Mom? People are weird. People are weird. Like, I mean, okay. I'm very much aware that I'm very much aware that the majority of you guys, even right now, know who I am initially through tarot. But yeah, it's like, oh, I'm just a random bot out to get you. It's like, no, you know who I am. That's why you're here. Yeah, drama in the craft community is something sometimes too. You know what? There's always some shitbag trying to start drama no matter where they go. And the reality is that they're idiots. Every fucking one of them is an idiot. Okay, you want to prank me? Ha ha ha, prank. Oh, hey Peggy, it was just a prank. Now let's all get a laugh. If you're the only one laughing, it's not a prank, you're just a fucking dick. And I am the queen of saying shitty, stupid things for a laugh. If I know better, you should know better. Honestly, because God knows I have no fucking boundaries. Okay, anyway. Yeah. Okay, so the binding with backing was good too. Yeah. That's called self-binding. Self-binding is where you right, most of the time what you do with a quilt, you just cut everything off, and then you put an extra piece on as your binding, as your edge all the way around. But if you save the bottom piece and make it bigger, you roll it forward. I have got plans to do other projects where I'm doing that so that you guys can get more examples of what that looks like, because it's actually okay. Certain things are amazingly easy once you get the hang of it. Riding a bike is amazingly easy. Remember when you were a kid, how much of a fucking struggle was that? And then all of a sudden you went, oh shit, this is easy, and off you went, right? Same thing. The self-binding technique is actually really, 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 really easy, but you need that one moment to go, oh, and you're done. And for some people, it happens immediately. Other people, it's like any skill whatsoever. It's amazingly helpful, amazingly useful. Yeah, junior high school mean girls. Like, don't waste my fucking time. The mean girls were afraid of me in high school. Like, don't waste my time. Anyway, they were. It was fucking weird. I don't know. I don't quite know how I got a reputation. I don't know, because I was very strong for my size and whatever, for my size and my height, and yeah. So people just assume, oh, don't mess with her. She'll kick your ass. And it's like, I've never been in a fight in my fucking life. Anyway, what else? Ooh, knitting. I used to knit. You know what? I got a knitting injury. Basically, I have like persistent tennis elbow, just from life, whatever. And knitting, you're doing this all day long. It's a lot of small motions. So I would knit, and suddenly this is acting up, and the whole shoulder. If tennis elbow gets out of control, tennis elbow is caused by a little muscle in here, right there. There's the bone. There's the muscle. A little muscle in here gets all knotted up, right? Once it starts getting really bad, the pain can go forward to your wrist and up into your shoulder. Mine would go up into my shoulder. I would get a fucking shoulder injury. I had a shoulder injury, not a huge one, not a huge injury, but I had a shoulder injury when the kids were little. Just tore a few ligaments in my shoulder, and so I would get knitting, and it would just up into my shoulder. I had to stop knitting. I gave away like a big garbage bag full of yarn. I had to stop. I've been knitting. I've got two knit blankets. I had a knit blanket right over there that I made. But yeah, I was starting to make hats, and they were fun. Oh wait, I've been looking into them. Jess, you said, oh yes, it is. I've been looking into them, and I got on my mouthy rant and lost track of where I was. Are you referring to an embroidery machine? There is a Sears model, and it's about $800 or $900. That's good for starting on. There's also a Brother one that's a little cheaper. There's a Brother model embroidery machine that's a little cheaper. All it does is embroider, but you can only embroider 4 inches at a time. There's a story. I told this story before. There was a lady when I was like really getting into the embroidering. Like, I gotta learn this. I'm in a bunch of groups, right? Do I use straight needles? Oh, I've tried both. Basically, this here gets persistent. So I age, whatever. I don't know what it was. I just reached a point where knitting was no longer something I could do. I also knit in a weird way because I brace the one needle and I'm sewing, and I knit like this with the needle braced in a way that I'm not moving. You know, you knit like this, right? Well, I knit like this. So I'm keeping it locked up. It's a bad habit on my part, complicated by a slightly persistent condition. It's like, this wasn't worth it anymore. But my math sucks to figure out how much extra to add to the batting. You know what you should do? You add as much as you fucking need. This is what I do. I kind of pick my battles. And it's like I put lots. enough to be comfortable. I can't. Okay, let's try this. I put enough to be comfortable, right? You guys are going to be able to see this. You guys are going to be able to. I did it again. No, I didn't. I just closed the window. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Just a second. I got to make sure I'm still here. Okay. I did it. I'll show you. I'll show you on this, right? I'll show you on this. So I pick my battles, right? It's not going to show up very well. I pick my battles. So I need enough. I just happen to have these basted and sitting here. So I'll just show you. I'll show you by example. I'm just prepping this so I can show you what I mean, okay? So I pick my battles. And I know that when I'm putting this together that there's going to be some waste, right? So I just put lots. Whatever that's comfortable for me. And then when I come back and trim it, so then what I do is I've got this is the edge of everything else, right? And then this is my backing. So then when I'm ready to do my fold over, it's like, okay, I need that to be an inch out. So I just straighten it up. This is a really shitty example, but so I put this on, I do my quilting, I sew everything else down, and then I straighten this up last and go. I got to get an actual piece out. But I don't know, for some reason, if I'm not fiddling with something, I'm not explaining it properly. If I'm not fiddling with something, I have a habit of not being able to explain it properly. So I make sure there's lots on here. If I need this to be an inch, I make sure I give myself at least 2 inches, sometimes even 3, depending on the size and complexity of the project. Then when I'm ready, I just line up my ruler with the line and say, okay, well, that's where I want it to be. And I'm folding it over by 1 inch. And I don't do this part until I'm ready to start sewing it. I get it. I know there's some cleavage for you guys, for anybody who's into that. So with that in mind, it's a crappy explanation. This is one of the reasons why I want to go over it. Oh, is that what it's called? Irish cottage knit. Okay, I had no idea that it was even a style. Basically, I started doing it because it was the most, I'm very, very right-handed. So it was just made the most sense to me. But like, basically when the kids were little, you're walking down the street, you're going, wee, kids. And one kid lifts their feet, yay, lift the kid up. Yeah, yay, lift the kid up. Well, and they didn't do anything wrong because they didn't know any better. Yay, lift the kid up. Yay, lift the kid up. La, 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 la. They let go. They run around me a couple times. Hey, let's do the same arm. Right? That's what happened. So, always the cleavage jokes. There's a lot of cleavage jokes in my house because it's like, how come I'm the butchy one with the great cleavage, right? It's like, I'm used to it, so I don't care, but still. And it's always, this is a hot corner. There's no windows. I mean, we're in a condo, so the windows are all obviously on one side. So there's no air in here. So I have to have, even in the coldest winter day, I still have to have some sort of a fan back here for airflow, or it gets really stuffy. So I'm always shorts and a t-shirt. It's -20 outside, but I'm in here in shorts and a t-shirt because it's too warm in this corner. But yeah, I tried using circular needles, but because of the way I knit, I never could they were uncomfortable the whole time. Wait, I knit for the fabric style I want, but if I want a similar style crocheting, I can do it in half the time. I could probably do crocheting now, but it's too fucking late. Getting the hang of the tension. And I had, back when I was trying to learn to crochet, money was a problem, not a problem, an issue, a concern. So I didn't want to waste. So I'm like, I would try to crochet, and it's like, I'm not getting the hang of the tension, and I don't want to spend the money. So I kind of gave up on that, but then I discovered knitting. I'll show you the blanket I made. I made this years ago. This is sitting right here, so I can go get it. Look at that. This is one of those. I made this right after that. I can get it up a little closer. The chunky yarns. I know chunky yarn has been around forever, but I made these right after the chunky yarns hit this surge of popularity. So I actually managed to get this as a shit ton of scrap. And what was I making with the other stuff? I forget why I had it in the first place. But yeah, just straight knitting, knit, and just keep going till you have a blanket. I used to love doing that. That's probably part of my problem. I was probably knitting projects. Can you guys even hear me from back here? I am so used to using the microphone that I keep talking even when I'm not. Yeah, it's a great couch blanket. The dogs love it. The dogs use that blanket more than I do. It's like scary. But yeah, that's super simple, super easy. Those the big chunky yarns, you can do something fairly quickly. I got that done in just a few days. Total. I forget how many, sit down for a few hours, half a day here, little few, sit down while watching TV. I probably did it over a couple of weeks, but I'd gladly relocate. You know what? Reading a comment out of context is really interesting because Andy the Wildflower says, I'd gladly relocate to the rear if I could. With that in mind, how dirty did your minds just go trying to make sense? Okay, I am behind. I'm matching cleavage. Yeah, it's like it looks great, but it requires maintenance that I don't like. The funny thing is that I think we talked about whether or not I should ask the doctor about whether I qualify for breast reduction, and it's like, nah, nah. Yeah, I honestly I can't dress like this without cleavage jokes. So it's like, nah, what are you gonna do, right? We talking about titties? No, we're just talking about the cleavage. See, look at that, it's beautiful. But you know what? If you come at the right angle, it looks like an ass. So yeah, look at that. See, just go like that, and now it looks like it looks like a guy in chaps. But we won't talk about that because that's a little weird and that's too weird and creepy. But anyway, I probably have to go soon. I probably have to go do some work. I've been on a break. Well, how long was I on the other one before I fucked it up? I had a stream going before this that I fucked up. I don't know what I pressed some sort of a button. I got my wife's hand-me-down mouse and these are all buttons and I pressed one of them. I have no idea what the fuck they do. I think I need to figure it out or check the junk pile and see if we just have a basic simple easy mouse. But it's fine. Anyway, well, at least our troll went away. That little investigation can begin, eh? It's like fucking people. But anyway, no, I think I'm definitely going to be finishing up this quilt properly. And now that I have the idea of doing it again, but when I'm trying not to burp too loud. It's like take a big guzzle of your pop and then try not to burp too loud. But once I get the other one done, I can do a contest. Just do a quick giveaway. I can only have so many blankets before I'm like, what the and I want to learn. I'm trying to learn quilting. Is the punchline? I know I've been saying this on the channel since I started. I'm trying to do more to learn more about quilting, and the biggest problem that I'm going to have is I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody to inflict them on. But anyway. Oh, here was a better example. Let's do the better example. I have a better example about edging. Let's put that over there so I don't fuck anything up. Okay. So working with the quilt as you go technique. Let's try it with this one. This might make better sense. Okay. So you're doing your quilt, you're doing your thing. See how much extras on here? I would put that if that's what's comfortable for you, that's what I would put on. Okay? I would literally I'm not going to go I need to trim this down. So if I decide that I want when you're doing a quilt as you go, when you're done, you fold it and then you fold it again. You're going to fold it halfway, fold it over, and then you're going to sew it down, right? Obviously, you don't want to sew down 4 inches. But if you decide that you're only going to do an inch, do everything first. Get all your quilting done first. Put everything together first. Leave it big. Leave it a little big. And then when you come back, there's the edge. There's the nice, clean, smooth edge that you're going to be folding everything over. Just go out an inch from there. Of course, I'm grabbing fabric that I can't see, so that makes it even better. And then trim it to shape. And then you've got a perfect edge. Because the biggest concern, and I can turn that into a strip for that. The biggest concern is, what if I don't leave enough space and it starts shifting? Well, now it can shift a little bit and you don't have to panic, because you're not going to do this step. This step happens about 10 minutes. It'll go all the way around. This step happens about 10 seconds, 10 minutes before you're doing that part. And now you've got a perfect seam and you're good to go. So I always calculate, if I say I want a 1 inch seam, I'm putting at least 2 inches all the way around. Then things can shift and you don't have to agonize so much about it. But that saved my life a few times, because quilt as you go can end up start looking, I don't know how you say it. Quilt as you go is really, really convenient for a boho rustic style, where a little bit of shifting, a little bit of moving, a little bit of whatever doesn't matter. So if you give yourself that extra space initially, then if that happens, you just square it all up and you're done. It's really easy. And yeah, that's how I do it. That's how I've always done it. Just measure it. Just go big and then trim it back just before you're ready to do your thing. I hope that was a better visual. But I definitely have more projects to do. Now I spot something and then get myself started all over again. Pardon me, I'm being very, very careful. But yeah, I think I've only ever done binding once. I don't mind it, but I find binding to be this is quicker, easier, less work. And it's the same effect. Oh, your husband did the binding for you. Okay, well, if Lisa would do my binding for me, I might try it more often. But I've actually got a couple of projects where I have to do binding. I haven't done any actual projects or anything for a little while on the channel. It's not that I'm done. I'm not stopping. I'm not done. We just had little like we were out of town. We were out of town this week. This week just kind of got weird because we had stuff. We were out of town last week, so we had to do stuff this week that we put off. And then it was like, oh shit, don't have time for a video. And Lisa's like, I didn't have time to do a video during the times of day when I would normally make a video, but Lisa was way behind on her videos. So it's like, I've got a lot of videos to do, honey, and I don't make a lot of noise in the background while she's doing that. So I was like, it's okay. I can wait. I want to fuck around with doing lives anyway. So if I do that. And this has been great that you guys are hanging out with me. I live in Quilt City. We have Quilt Week where there are a ton of workshops here in town. Where is that? Where are you living? I think I want to go to a quilt show, but I don't want to put. That's where I got this idea from. Was actually something I saw. Paducah, Kentucky. Yeah, Southern ladies love their quilting bees. It seems. Everybody does quilting, but I think it seems to be like almost a way of life down there. Just in the South, I don't know. Like I just think if you say quilting bee, I automatically think of Southern ladies, Southern women just getting together making a quilt. But yeah, I would love to see stuff like that. What do I have coming to the Etsy shop? Right now, right this minute, I'm a little behind. I've got some single pockets that are coming in probably later on today. And then I'm doing I've got a big stack of larges that I'm working on. Those depend. I'm going to start, and my cutoff is Friday. So whatever I have finished by Friday, as long as life doesn't get in the way in the next few days, I'll have these finished by Friday and possibly some minis as well. And then I've got some 2 pockets that are coming in. yeah, we just had a bunch of little things coming up. Nothing that was serious and nothing that was earth shattering, but just those little things that get in the way. It's like spring cleaning was yesterday, so rest up for spring cleaning because we're going to be busy all night. So it's like I'm not going to do a lot of sewing today because I'm just not gonna. You only have so much energy in a day, right? So now it's all about getting caught up. I'm going to go workaholic mode for the next couple of weeks and get stuff caught up. Start getting some things going. I have no 2 pockets in the shop right now, so I'm definitely putting some of those in next week. I've got a couple of really nice. I've got that one tapestry style that I just showed you guys, and I've got a couple more that I want to get up soon. So yeah. Rose and her wife separated, and I'm not sure that Rose was my helper, and so the long and the short of it, like Rose is doing well. Rose is fine, but she did have to move out of the area, move back to be closer to family. So I lost my helper is the problem. So I'm not the problem, but yeah, for the last year, I was like staying ahead of everything all the time. It was great. It was awesome. It's like, yeah, let's get all this stuff done. So now I'm trying to figure. I'm still. Rose left like 6 months ago, and I'm still trying to figure out how. Every time I think I've got a handle on how I'm going to maintain a good workflow, something gets in the way of it. So yeah, I'm planning on doing a lot of catching up. But yeah, single pocket wraps are going in today, and larges are next, and then I'm going to start on that stuff. But yeah, it's coming. I'm thinking about the minis because I think I'm way behind on them. I've got minis in the shop, but I don't think I've actually put anything new in that category for like months. I think it's been like at least 4 or 5 months since I put minis in the shop, other than what was already there. So yeah, we'll do that. But anyway, I need to get going because I'm enjoying this way too much, and I will sit here and talk all fucking day long. So with that in mind, I'm going to get going. You guys know the drill. I'm always going to go like, subscribe, ring the bell, hit the notifications, do all the things. And I will see you in the next time I happen to wander away. I'm going to fix the live problem. Not problem. I'm going to fix the that problem and quickly fix the earthquake problem so that I can do more of these. And I've got several projects in mind that I want to do for you guys, and just regular general checkups to keep update you as the quilt progresses and things like that. So I will be seeing you guys soon. Till then, you guys have a great day. Bye. Oh no, there it is. And then the stream.